The post-it note was yellow. I found it at 6:47 a.m. Tuesday, April something. The date didn't matter because I wouldn't remember it tomorrow. Stuck to the inside of my bathroom medicine cabinet behind the Advil bottle, written in handwriting I recognized as my own even though I had no memory of writing it. Don't trust James. Check pillowcase. Today is day 127. I stood there in my Seattle bathroom with morning light filtering through frosted glass, the note trembling in my fingers, staring at words I'd apparently written to myself, from a version of me I couldn't remember being. The handwriting was definitely mine. The way I crossed my T's, the specific slant of my capital letters, the attorney's precision in forming each word. But I had absolutely no memory of opening this medicine cabinet yesterday, or the day before. And hiding this warning. My heart was hammering. Don't trust James. My husband of 12 years, sleeping in our bed down the hall. The man who'd made me coffee this morning and kissed my forehead and told me he loved me. Why would I warn myself not to trust him? Check pillowcase. I walked back to the bedroom on legs that felt disconnected from my body, moving quietly so I wouldn't wake James. He was still asleep, his breathing deep and steady, peaceful, oblivious. I pulled back the covers on my side of the bed, lifted my pillow, and felt something stiff taped to the underside of the pillowcase. A Polaroid photo. The instant kind that develops in minutes, impossible to fake or edit. It showed me, my face, my hair, my favorite gray sweater, sitting in this bedroom holding today's newspaper. The Seattle Times, Monday, May 1st, yesterday, apparently. In the photo, I was holding a handwritten sign. You have anterograde amnesia. Car accident 6 months ago. You forget everything after 24 hours. This is day 126. James caused the accident. He's stealing everything you're investigating. Find journal in closet. The photo was dated in the white border. 5/1/25, 11:47 p.m. I'd taken this photo approximately 7 hours ago, just before sleep, knowing I'd forget it by morning, knowing future me would need proof. Anterograde amnesia. The words made something click in my brain, a memory of a doctor explaining when, recently, months ago, that I'd suffered traumatic brain injury and wouldn't be able to form new long-term memories. Everything after approximately 18 hours would disappear from my mind. Each day would reset. But I didn't remember the doctor telling me this. I didn't remember 6 months. I didn't remember a car accident. The last clear memory I had was December. Early winter. Driving to work on a rainy morning. Everything after that was fog. Fragments, the vague sense of time passing, but no concrete memories of days or weeks or specific events. I looked at James, still sleeping peacefully. James caused the accident. He's stealing everything. My hands were shaking so badly the Polaroid fluttered. I read the note again. Find journal in closet. I moved to our walk-in closet past James's suits and my dresses, to the back corner where winter clothes hung unused in May. I knelt down, feeling along the floorboards the way the note instructed, and found one board that was loose. It lifted easily, revealing a hollow space beneath. Inside, a composition notebook, black and white speckled cover, the kind I'd used in law school. On the front, in my handwriting, Rebecca's journal. Read this first every morning. Today is day blank. Fill in based on date. I opened it. The first page was a reference guide. Rebecca, if you're reading this, you found the note in the medicine cabinet and the photo in your pillowcase. Good. You left these for yourself because you have anterograde amnesia and won't remember yesterday. This journal contains everything you've discovered over the past number days. Read it all. Every entry. The evidence is hidden throughout the house in multiple locations in case James finds one. You need to know. Your name is Rebecca Morgan. You're 38. You were a real estate attorney. You had a car accident on December 14, 2024, caused by brake line tampering. Your husband James caused the accident deliberately to steal your $2.3 million inheritance from your father. While you were in the hospital, he forged power of attorney documents and drained your accounts. He sold your law practice. He's planning to institutionalize you. You discovered this approximately 4 months ago and have been documenting evidence every day since. You won't remember doing the investigation yesterday, but the evidence is real. Trust yourself. Your past selves have been remarkably thorough. Below is the daily protocol. 1. Find this journal first thing every morning. You leave clues everywhere. Medicine cabinet, pillowcase, coffee maker. 2. Read previous entries to understand current situation. 3. Call your sister Sarah at 206-555-0147. She knows everything, confirms daily. 4. Check hidden evidence locations, list on page 3. 5. Continue investigation based on yesterday's notes. 6. Document new findings. 7. Update this journal with today's entry. 8. Before sleep, hide new clues for tomorrow. U9. Take Polaroid photo with tomorrow's newspaper to prove continuity. Remember, tomorrow you'll forget today, but the evidence doesn't forget. Keep going. I read the protocol 3 times, my hands trembling, my breath coming shallow. Then I turn to page 3. A detailed map of the house with X marks showing evidence locations, hollowed out law textbook and office, inside coffee maker water reservoir, taped behind bedroom dresser, winter boot in hall closet, false bottom in bathroom trash can. I turn to the journal entries. Day 1 was dated February 14th, 2024, 4 months ago. Today is the first day I've found the warning note. Don't understand how I wrote it without remembering. James says I've been home from the hospital for 3 weeks, recovering from accident that gave me amnesia. Says he's taking care of me, managing our finances, helping me adjust. But I found this note I don't remember writing. Don't trust James. Why would I write that? Spent today searching house while he was at work. Found empty safe in garage, combination still in my muscle memory. Typed it without thinking. Safe is completely empty. Asked James where safe contents are. He said we never kept anything in there. But safe exists. Why have empty safe with combination I remember? Also found bank statement shoved behind washing machine, account number I don't recognize, shows $400K transfer out on January 3rd. I was in hospital January 3rd according to medical bracelet I'm still wearing. Who authorized $400 transfer while I was unconscious? James says all our money went to medical bills. But this statement shows money going to account ending in 7734, not from it. Where did that money come from, and where did it go? Writing this all down because tomorrow I won't remember any of today. Tomorrow I'll find this note and have to start over. Hiding journal under closet floorboard. Leaving sticky note in medicine cabinet telling tomorrow me to check pillowcase. Leaving photo in pillowcase telling tomorrow me to find journal. If I'm right to be suspicious, I need to investigate. If I'm paranoid, at least I'll know tomorrow when I read this. But something is very wrong. December 14th, I was driving home from work on I-5. Evening commute, raining, typical Seattle winter weather. My brakes failed completely on the exit ramp. My car, a 2021 Lexus ES that had been serviced 3 weeks prior, plowed through a guardrail and rolled twice before landing in a drainage ditch. 3 broken ribs, shattered left femur, severe concussion, and traumatic brain injury that left me with anterograde amnesia. Anterograde amnesia means I can't form new long-term memories. Everything before the accident, my childhood, law school, my father's death 5 years ago, meeting James, our wedding, all of that I remember perfectly. But everything after? My brain can hold information for about 18 to 24 hours, then it resets. Gone. Erased. Like my mind is an etch-a-sketch that gets shaken clean every morning while I sleep. I spent 6 weeks in Harborview Medical Center. I don't remember any of it, but my journal says James visited daily, played the devoted husband, told the staff he'd take care of everything at home so Rebecca could focus on recovery. He took care of everything. All right? While I was in the hospital, unable to remember conversations from one day to the next, unable to sign documents with any legal understanding of what I was signing, James used a forged power of attorney to drain my father's trust fund, $2.3 million, transferred in increments to accounts in the Cayman Islands. He sold my law practice, the firm I'd spent 8 years building, to my partner for $850,000, telling him I decided to retire due to medical issues. He emptied our joint savings account. He sold my jewelry. He told my sister Sarah that I didn't want to see her anymore, that family visits agitated my condition. And when I came home from the hospital in late January, he became my caregiver, my memory, my only source of information about my own life. This morning, day 127 according to my note, which means it's early May now, almost 5 months since I came home, I followed the instructions past me left. I read the entire journal, Front to back, 138 entries of my own handwriting, documenting evidence I'd discovered and immediately forgotten. I looked at 847 Polaroid photos hidden in a locked box inside a hollowed-out law textbook in my home office, each one showing bank statements, empty safe deposits, James on phone calls looking worried, car maintenance records, document after document of theft and lies. And then I did what past me has apparently been doing for months. I continued the investigation, knowing I'd forget everything by tomorrow morning and would have to start over by finding my own hidden clues. Day 1, the day I first found the warning note, was 3 months ago according to my journal. February 14th, Valentine's Day. The entry is shaky, confused. Found note in medicine cabinet. Don't understand. James says we had accident. I have amnesia. Trust him to help me. But I wrote note to myself warning not to trust him, looked through house while he was at work. Found empty safe in garage, combination still in my muscle memory, even though I don't remember opening it. Safe should have something in it. James says we have no savings because of medical bills, but I found bank statements stuffed behind washer. Account I don't recognize, shows $400K transfer out on January 3rd. I was still in hospital January 3rd. Who authorized this? Need to investigate. Writing this down because tomorrow I won't remember finding it. Hiding journal under closet floorboard. Leaving note to self to check there. Day 2 entry continues for 3 pages, describing how past me researched my own life on the computer, discovered the law firm sale, contacted my former partner Daniel, called my old firm. Receptionist transferred me to Daniel Chang, my partner for 8 years, and he sounded shocked. Rebecca? God, I didn't think you'd... James said you wouldn't be calling anyone. Are you okay? Asked what he meant. Daniel explained that James called the firm in late December, said I was in hospital, had severe brain injury, wanted to sell my partnership shares immediately to cover medical expenses. Needed cash fast. Daniel thought it was odd. Firm has excellent insurance. But James was insistent. Said I'd made the decision during a lucid moment and he needed to act on it quickly before I forgot again. Daniel paid $850,000 for my 50% share of the practice. Firm was worth closer to $2 million total, so my half should have been $1 million. But James said I was desperate and needed quick sale. Daniel sent the money to account James provided. I don't remember any of this. I don't remember agreeing to sell. I don't remember signing papers. Asked Daniel if he still has the sale agreement. He's emailing it to address James doesn't know about. I set up Gmail account today specifically for this investigation. James Isling Rebecca at gmail.com because James monitors my regular email. Tomorrow I won't remember creating that account, but I wrote the password in this journal. Tomorrow me, check that email. Day 5 was when past me discovered the Polaroid camera technique. Woke up to notes saying check journal. Reading previous 4 days. Can't believe I don't remember yesterday. Feels like I'm reading someone else's diary, except it's my handwriting. Today found Polaroid camera in junk drawer. Instant film still in it. Handwriting on box says bought for evidence. Don't remember buying it, but brilliant idea. Can take photos of documents immediately. Hide physical photos before I forget. Can't be deleted like digital photos. James might find on phone. Spent $200 on instant film, 40 packs. Photographed everything suspicious. Empty safe, bank statements, law firm sale agreement. Daniel emailed, printed it. James's calendar showing Cayman trip in January while I was in hospital. Each photo developing in my hands while I watch. Undeletable proof. Hiding photos in hollowed-out law textbook on office shelf. James never reads my legal texts. Tomorrow I'll forget taking these photos, but they'll still exist. Physical evidence immune to my broken memory. Day 8. Found all yesterday's notes. Reviewing photos I don't remember taking. Evidence is mounting. Today, searched James's office while he was at gym. Found document folder labeled RM Estate in locked drawer. Lock picked using bobby pin. Muscle memory from teenage phase of picking locks apparently still works, even though I don't remember teenage me. Folder contains power of attorney document supposedly signed by me, December 20th, 6 days after accident. Signature looks like mine, but something's off. Right hand was broken in accident per medical records. Found discharge papers in bathroom, 3 broken fingers. Can't sign properly with broken hand. This signature is too neat, too controlled. Took Polaroid of POA and medical records side by side. Comparison shows signature inconsistent with broken hand injury. James forged my signature. Photographed 5 pages of POA showing him authorized to access all accounts, sell property, make medical decisions. This document is his golden ticket to stealing everything, and it's fake. Day 12. Private investigator business card appeared in my winter boot today with note. You hired him. Call every morning. Name, Marcus Webb. Seattle PI license number. Called. Marcus said I've been calling him every morning for 4 days now, explaining my situation each time. He's patient. Said he's used to memory-impaired clients. I hired him on day 8 to investigate the car accident. His report is devastating. Took my Lexus to mechanic he trusts. Brake lines were cleanly cut, not worn. Direct quote from mechanic's report, which I'm now holding. Brake fluid reservoir was drained. Lines severed with cutting tool, clean cuts, not frayed or corroded. This was deliberate sabotage. Someone cut my brakes. Accident wasn't accident, it was attempted murder, and only one person benefited from my incapacitation. James. Marcus's building case file. Said, I've been paying him $200 stay from emergency cash. I withdrew in February before James could freeze accounts. Tomorrow, I'll forget hiring him. Tomorrow, I'll find his card and have to build trust all over again. But his investigation continues, even when my memory doesn't. Day 23. 1 month since finding first warning note. Have 23 days of journal entries now. Reading them all every morning takes 90 minutes. It's like watching a mystery unfold, except I'm both detective and victim. Today's discovery. James's laptop left open while he showered. Email to someone named Tom, his brother. R still doesn't suspect anything. Amnesia is working perfectly. She can't remember long enough to put pieces together. Another 3 months and I'll have everything liquidated. Then I can move her to facility and disappear. This email dated February 18th, 5 days ago. He's planning to institutionalize me and flee with stolen money. Photographed entire email exchange. 23 emails over 2 months discussing the plan. How the accident worked better than expected. How she trusts me completely. My husband discussing my attempted murder like it's a business transaction. Tomorrow I won't remember the sick feeling reading these words. Tomorrow I'll find photos and feel it fresh again. This is my hell. Discovering betrayal daily, but also, this is my weapon. Daily fresh determination. The entries continue. Day 34. Reconnecting with Sister Sarah after months of enforced isolation. Day 47. Discovering Heritage Hills commitment papers. Day 63. The recorded phone call where James says she can't testify if she can't remember. Day 89. Finding financial records showing $2.3 million transferred to Cayman accounts in increments. $400K on January 3rd, $600 on January 10th, $500 on January 15th, $400K on January 22nd, $400K on February 2nd. My entire inheritance drained over 4 weeks while I was too brain injured to understand what I was signing. Past me has been methodical. Every entry includes date and day number, summary of evidence found, photos taken, numbered and cross-referenced, new hiding spots used, tomorrow's task list, emotional state, ranges from terrified to determined to grief-stricken. Day 91 entry hits different. Today I found photo album in attic. Wedding pictures. James and me in 2012, so young and happy, looking at each other like we couldn't believe our luck. Honeymoon in Hawaii. Anniversary dinners. His face in every photo showing love, or what I thought was love. Looking at these photos now, knowing what he did, it's like seeing a stranger. Or maybe he was always this person, and I just didn't see it. Did he ever love me? Or was I always just the attorney with the trust fund, a target waiting to be exploited? I sat in the attic crying over these photos for an hour. Tomorrow I won't remember crying. Tomorrow I'll read this entry and cry again. Grief on repeat. But then I'll keep investigating because that's what tomorrow me does. Cry, then fight. Every single day. Day 106. Sarah suggested I write letter to future me for days when evidence feels overwhelming. So here it is. You don't remember today. You don't remember yesterday. You don't remember 105 days of discovering your husband tried to kill you. But you've done something remarkable. You've built a criminal case, despite being unable to remember building it. You've created systems that work around your broken brain. You've proven amnesia isn't powerlessness. It's just a different timeline. Every morning you forget, but every morning you choose to believe past you and continue the fight. That's courage. That's strength. Tomorrow you'll forget writing this, but when you read it, know you're winning. Slowly, one day at a time, you're winning. Keep going. Love, today Rebecca, who also started as Tomorrow Rebecca, who found a note and chose to believe. Today, day 127, May 2nd, according to the newspaper in my Polaroid, I follow the routine past me has established. I call Sarah first thing. She confirms everything in the journal, tells me she loves me, reminds me that tomorrow I'll forget this phone call, but the evidence is real. I call Marcus Webb, who gives me a brief update. District Attorney has reviewed the case file and is ready to proceed with arrest warrant as soon as I give the word. The question, Marcus says, his voice gentle over the phone, is whether you're ready. You've been investigating for 4 months. You've built an ironclad case. James is planning to move you to Heritage Hills next week. Commitment papers are dated May 10th, 8 days from now. We need to move soon. What if I forget? I ask. What if tomorrow I wake up and can't find my notes? What if I accidentally trust him? You won't. You've left fail-safes everywhere. You're smarter than your own amnesia, Rebecca. You've proven that every single day for 127 days. I spend the morning photographing new evidence. James's laptop, open while he's in the shower, showing emails to offshore banks. Bank statements showing accounts emptied. The Heritage Hills commitment papers. I write detailed notes tomorrow me. I update the journal with day 127's findings. I hide everything in the multiple locations past me has established. Medicine cabinet, pillowcase, coffee maker, law textbook, winter boots, dozens of hiding spots, because if James finds one cache, others remain. This is my life now. Evidence scavenger hunt. Daily rediscovery of betrayal. Memory reset button that never stops pressing. But I'm also an attorney, was an attorney, still have an attorney's brain even if I can't remember using it yesterday. And past me has built something remarkable. A case that doesn't rely on my memory. A case built on contemporaneous documentation, recorded in real time, verified by third parties, impossible to claim I fabricated after the fact, because how can someone with amnesia fabricate a consistent lie across 4 months when they can't remember yesterday's lie? I decide. Today is the day. I call Marcus Webb and tell him to contact the DA. Time to end this. But I also know tomorrow I'll wake up and won't remember making this decision. Tomorrow me will have to read about it in the journal. So I write the entry for day 127, detailed and specific. Today I authorized Marcus Webb to proceed with James's arrest. DA has warrant ready. They'll execute it at our 13th wedding anniversary dinner on May 9th. James made reservations at Canlis, fancy waterfront restaurant. He thinks he's going to toast our marriage before committing me to Heritage Hills. Instead, he'll be arrested in front of 50+ witnesses. I won't remember this plan tomorrow. But past me has decided. Day 134. May 9th is Justice Day. By the time future me reads this, it will either already have happened or be about to happen. Trust the plan. Trust that past me knew what she was doing. And if you're reading this on day 134 or after, check the TV news. Our story will be there. I hide the journal in its usual spot. I leave notes in all the usual places, and I go to sleep not knowing if tomorrow me will successfully find the clues or if I'll wake up, confused and vulnerable, and accidentally trust the man who tried to kill me. The next 6 days are documented in my journal entries, which I'm reading now on day 133. Each day I woke up, found the notes, continued preparing for May 9th. Each entry shows the same routine. Find notes, read journal, call Sarah, call Marcus, verify plan is proceeding, update evidence, leave new notes for tomorrow. Day 128, anniversary dinner tomorrow. James, cheerful, told me he's planned surprise for our anniversary. I'm sure he has. Marcus confirms DA and police are ready. I won't remember tomorrow that this is the plan, but I'll find this entry, and I'll follow through because past me has prepared everything. Day 129. It's May 9th. Anniversary dinner tonight at Canlis, 7 p.m. James thinks he's bringing commitment papers for me to sign. Police will be there instead. I'm terrified I'll forget and ruin everything. But past me left detailed instructions. Sarah will call at 5 p.m. to remind me. Marcus will text at 6 p.m. All I have to do is show up. James will handle the rest by being himself. And here I am, day 134, May 14th, 5 days after the anniversary dinner, reading my own journal entries about what happened because I don't remember living through it. The journal entry for day 130, May 10th, the day after, is shaky, emotional. Yesterday happened. James was arrested. I don't remember it, but Sarah came over this morning with video on her phone. Someone at the restaurant filmed it. James is in custody. I'm safe. I'm reading about my own victory and can't remember experiencing it. The justice I spent 4 months building, that I discovered every single day, that I fought for without remembering I'd fought for it the day before. It happened, and I missed it. Not because I wasn't there, but because my brain won't let me keep it. But I have the video. I have the evidence. I have this journal. Tomorrow I'll forget writing this, but tonight I know I won. The video is stored on my phone, bookmarked under Watch This First in my contacts. I watch it now, seeing myself experience something I have no memory of experiencing. Canless restaurant, elegant and expensive, floor-to-ceiling windows showing Seattle skyline and Elliott Bay. Me and James at a corner table, him in a suit, smiling, relaxed. Me in a blue dress I don't remember choosing. James pulls out champagne, pours 2 glasses. He's talking. I can see his mouth moving, but the video has no audio. He reaches into his jacket and pulls out papers. Heritage Hills commitment forms, I realize. He's presenting them like they're a gift. Anniversary surprise. Your husband is institutionalizing you. Then the restaurant door opens. 3 Seattle PD detectives in plain clothes moving purposefully toward our table. James doesn't notice until they're standing right there. His face when he looks up. Shock, confusion, then recognition and panic. One detective is speaking. James standing, backing away. Me sitting there looking confused, clearly not understanding what's happening because this version of me in the video doesn't know about the 4-month investigation, doesn't recognize the culmination of past me's work. Handcuffs. James's wrists cuffed behind his back. The detective reading him his rights. Other diners staring. Someone filming this video. James looking at me with something between rage and desperation, saying something. The video has no sound, but I can read his lips. Rebecca, tell them this is a mistake. And video me, following instructions past me left, pulls a piece of paper from my purse. I don't remember doing this, but I watch myself do it. I read from the paper. James Morgan attempted to murder me by tampering with my car brakes. While I was in the hospital, he stole $2.3 million from my father's trust fund using forged documents. He's been gaslighting me for months, planning to institutionalize me to cover his crimes. I have anterograde amnesia and won't remember making this statement tomorrow, but I'm making it today. I want him prosecuted to the full extent of the law. My voice on the video is clear, strong, attorney voice. Past me left nothing to chance. Even knowing I'd forget, I'd prepared a statement. Probably practiced it, probably checked it multiple times that day to make sure I didn't mess up this crucial moment. The video ends with James being led out in handcuffs, me sitting at the table alone with 2 untouched champagne glasses, looking at commitment papers I'll spend the rest of my life not signing. The trial, according to my journal, news clippings Sarah has printed for me, and video recordings stored on my phone, lasted 9 weeks. Spring 2025. The State of Washington v. James Edward Morgan. I don't remember any of it, but I lived through it, apparently. The journal entries from trial weeks are surreal, documenting experiences I can't recall. Day 187. Trial started today. Don't remember it, but here's what happened according to Sarah, who attended. Opening statements. Prosecutor called James a man who saw his wife's brain injury as an opportunity. Showed jury the Polaroid photos, all 847 of them displayed on screens around courtroom. Showed my journal entries. Prosecutor read aloud from day 1. Tomorrow I'll find this note and have to start over. Said jury needs to understand, I've been solving my own attempted murder every single day for months. Defense attorney argued I'm mentally unstable and fabricated evidence. But how can someone with amnesia fabricate consistent documented story across 187 days when they can't remember yesterday's version? Prosecutor's response was perfect. Miss Morgan's daily journals are more reliable than witness memory, reconstructed months after events. She documented everything in real time. That's not mental illness. That's brilliant legal thinking, despite catastrophic brain injury. Tomorrow I'll forget being called brilliant, but Sarah recorded it on her phone. I can watch myself receive compliment I won't remember receiving. Day 189, testified yesterday and today. 3-day testimony broken into segments. Here's how it worked. From notes lawyer, prepared for me. Each morning I arrive court fresh, no memory of yesterday's testimony. Lawyer shows me previous day's evidence, explains what I'm testifying about. I review notes I left myself. Then I testify about that specific topic while it's fresh in my short-term memory. They recorded each segment, edited them together into coherent testimony for jury. Testified about finding the warning notes, discovering evidence, learning about brake tampering, building the case daily, the horror of reading my own journals every morning, describing betrayal I don't remember. Lawyer asked, Miss Morgan, do you remember testifying yesterday? I answered honestly, no. But I trust that I did because my lawyer tells me so, and I've learned to trust the documented evidence even when I can't trust my own memory. 3 jurors were crying. Video of my testimony is on my phone. Watched it tonight. Strange seeing myself speak words I don't remember saying. Showing emotion I don't remember feeling. But it's clearly me. My face, my voice, my words. The testimony happened. I just wasn't there to remember it. Day 192. Mechanic testified. Luis Ramirez from Eastside Import Repair. He explained to jury in simple terms. Brake lines don't fail like Rebecca's did. They corrode over time, gradual visible wear. Rebecca's lines were cut cleanly with precision tool, showed photos of the cut lines versus corroded lines, said in 30 years as mechanic he's seen exactly 3 cases of deliberately cut brake lines, all attempted murder cases. Prosecutor asked, could this have been accidental damage? Luis said, no. Brake lines are protected, tucked up under chassis. You can't accidentally cut them. This required deliberate access, proper tools, knowledge of car mechanics. Whoever did this knew exactly what they were doing and intended to cause brake failure at high speed. James sat at defense table expressionless, but I watched video. You can see his jaw clench when Luis says, intended to cause brake failure. Small tell. Jury noticed. Day 197. Forensic document examiner testified today. Dr. Patricia Chen from FBI. She analyzed the power of attorney document James used to access my accounts. Examined signature supposedly signed by me December 20th. Compared it to my known signatures and to medical records showing I had 3 broken fingers on right hand from accident. Her conclusion, stated under oath, the signature on the POA is inconsistent with injury pattern documented in medical records. A person with 3 broken fingers cannot produce signature with this level of control and precision. Furthermore, computer analysis shows signature was likely traced from legitimate signature on earlier document. In my professional opinion, this signature is forged. Prosecutor displayed my medical x-rays on courtroom screen. You can see the broken bones, the metal pins. Then displayed POA signature, smooth, controlled, perfect. Judge let jury examine original document under magnification. You could see them connecting dots. James's forged POA was his authorization to steal $2.3 million. Prosecutor said he broke her hand in the accident he caused. Then he forged her broken hand signature to steal her inheritance. That's calculated cruelty. Day 203, jury is deliberating. Been out 11 hours. Sarah says they're not questioning whether James is guilty. Evidence is overwhelming. They're questioning whether my testimony is reliable. Can person with amnesia be credible witness? Can my daily journals substitute for actual memory? Prosecutor's closing argument addressed this directly. I watched video. Ladies and gentlemen, Rebecca Morgan cannot remember yesterday. She cannot remember testifying in this courtroom. She cannot remember the investigation she conducted, but her contemporaneous documentation, created in real time, photographed immediately, hidden before memory loss, verified by independent investigators, that is more reliable than typical witness testimony. Most witnesses testify from memory reconstructed months or years after events. Their memories are colored by time, suggestion, desire. Rebecca's journals are time-stamped proof created the moment of discovery. Her amnesia doesn't make her unreliable. It makes her documentation unimpeachable. She couldn't change her story if she wanted to. She can't remember yesterday's story. These 187 journal entries represent 187 separate, independent discoveries of the same truth. That's not mental illness. That's 187 confirmations of guilt. Video shows jury nodding. They got it. Day 204, guilty. All counts: attempted murder, fraud, elder dependent adult abuse, grand theft, forgery, wire fraud. Every single charge. Jury deliberated 12 hours, came back unanimous. James convicted, sentencing in 2 weeks. I should feel victorious. But I don't remember the verdict being read. Don't remember judge thanking jury. Don't remember James's face when word guilty was repeated 8 times. I watched video Sarah recorded. James went white, completely bloodless. For a moment he looked at me. Real me, not the confused amnesia victim he'd been managing. And I think he finally understood. I'd won, despite everything he'd done. My broken brain had been no match for an attorney's training and pure stubborn determination. His face in that moment. I don't remember seeing it, but I've watched the video 5 times. He looks destroyed. Justice doesn't erase what he did. Doesn't fix my brain. Doesn't return my career or the 6 months I'll never remember. But seeing his face realize he'd lost, past me, earned that moment even if I can't remember living it. Sentencing was 2/18. James Edward Morgan received 18 years in federal prison, eligible for parole after 14 years. Judge Patricia Morrison's statement, from transcript I keep on my phone. Mr. Morgan, you committed one of the most calculated betrayals this court has seen. You didn't just attempt to murder your wife, you attempted to erase her. You broke her brain, stole her life, and then maintained the deception daily, lying to a woman who couldn't remember yesterday's lies. You exploited the very system meant to protect vulnerable adults. You forged documents. You isolated her from family. You planned to institutionalize her permanently to cover your crimes. The only thing that stopped you was Miss Morgan's remarkable resilience and brilliant legal mind, which functioned despite catastrophic injury. She built a case she couldn't remember building. She solved a crime she had to rediscover every morning. She proved that even a broken memory cannot break a determined will. You underestimated her. You thought amnesia was the perfect crime. You were wrong. This court sentences you to 18 years in federal prison. All assets seized, $4.2 million in restitution ordered. And may you spend every single day of those 18 years remembering what you did, since Ms. Morgan will spend the rest of her life being unable to. The courtroom erupted in applause, apparently rare in trials, but people couldn't help themselves. I don't remember it. But Sarah was there. She has video, showed me tonight. James appealed, lost. He's currently serving his sentence at FCI-CTAC, Federal Minimum Security Prison for Non-Violent Offenders. Though I'd argue attempting to murder your wife by cutting her brake lines isn't exactly non-violent. According to journal entries from the months after sentencing, the recovery process began. $1.8 million recovered from seized offshore accounts. Law practice assets partially returned. Daniel offered to bring me back as consulting attorney, but I declined. Can't practice law when you can't remember client details past 24 hours. But he's holding 25% of recovered practice value in trust for me. The $500,000 life insurance policy James had secretly taken out on me, meant to be his payday when I died in the crash, was paid out to me after his conviction as victim restitution. Sarah helped me establish the Memory Protection Foundation 6 months after trial. I don't remember founding it, but I apparently did. The website says I'm founder and president. There are staff members I don't recognize who call me Rebecca, warmly, like we're friends. Each morning Sarah explains, "You hired them. They're wonderful. They help people like you." And I trust her because what choice do I have? The foundation developed daily verification protocol, now used by 37 hospitals nationwide for memory-impaired patients. Basic concept: anyone claiming to be helping a patient with cognitive impairment must verify their claims to independent third-party advocate. Prevents exactly what James did, isolated caregiving with no oversight. I wrote a memoir. Every Day I Forget, Every Day I Fight. Published last year. Bestseller. I don't remember writing it, but my journal from that period, days 41642, documents the process. I wrote same events over and over, reading previous day's work each morning, building narrative through repetition. The book in my hands has my name on cover, my words inside, my story. I can't practice law anymore, can't remember cases, precedents, client details, but I consult on exploitation cases. Every morning I read case files fresh, provide insight based on the attorney's training I can still access, even if I can't remember yesterday's case. This is my life now. Permanent present tense. Forever learning that my husband tried to kill me, that I caught him, that I won. People ask me, people ask past me, and I read their questions in my journal. How I cope. How I maintain sanity when every day requires rediscovering trauma. The truth is, I don't remember coping. Each day I wake up, and for about 15 minutes, I think everything is normal, that I'm still an attorney, that my father's inheritance is safe, that James loves me. Then I find the notes, and the world crashes down, and I have to decide. Do I believe these warning notes from past me? Do I trust this journal even though I don't remember writing it? The answer is always yes, because the alternative, trusting James, trusting my broken brain, trusting that everything is fine, led to months of theft and lies. Past me did something remarkable, built a case despite being unable to remember building it, created a system where tomorrow me could continue work today me started, turned amnesia from a vulnerability into evidence. Every morning, I wake up and fight the same battle. Every morning, I forget that I won, but the victory exists, in court records, in James's prison sentence, in the $1.8 million recovered and sitting in accounts I can verify on my phone, in the foundation that helps others avoid my nightmare, in the 1847 Polaroid photos hidden throughout this house showing evidence I gathered one day at a time. The post-it note in my medicine cabinet is yellow. Tomorrow morning at 6:47 a.m., I'll find another one just like it. Don't trust James. He caused the accident. Check pillowcase. Today is day number. Except now the note says something different. James in prison. You're safe. Read journal. You won. I wake up every morning having to remember my husband tried to kill me. But I also wake up every morning having to remember that I caught him. My memory resets daily. But my will for justice never forgot. And that turned out to be enough.